Hello? Hello, Bryan?
Yeah, just a minute. Hey, listen, sorry, I don't have a lot of time. It's Bryan from This, That, and the Other. Look, okay, I want to tell you everything. I want to tell you the truth about wood. You want to know about the real stuff? You want to know why the earth is hollow and why we're being run by aliens? You want to know about the stuff they're putting in your Gatorade and why you should be eating your dogs and why renewable resources are a lie and we're living inside of a hologram. And I'll tell you all this, but you have to listen to This, That, and the Other. You have to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Don't tell Sam though. Don't tell him.
Ryan, what are you doing? Are you making an ad without me?
No, listen, I gotta go. Subscribe to This, That, and the Other.
You bastard.
9/11 was a lie. What happened to buildings?
What is up, and what's hood, y'all? It is your boy, Forever Cabron, and welcome back to episode 9 of What's Hood with your boy, FC. Cubole, what's happening, ese? Time to roll one with a compa. Shout out to you for listening to Binge on This, the YouTube channel, home to This, That, and the Other with Bryan and Sam, Olden Time TVs, Happy News with Perry Kurt, Sam of All Trades, Universal Dreams, and of course, What's Hood with the homie. I, Forever Cabron, dog. I want to thank you and shout you out once again. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell on the YouTube channel. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, the whole 9, you feel me? And yeah, dog, get involved in the conversation. Shoot us an email, link us up. Slide into the DMs on the social medias, dog. Hit the Twitter page and the whole 9. Reach out, dog. Let's build a community. Because teamwork makes the dream work, you feel me? So we out here, Loke, doing the best of what we can with what we got. My week's been hectic a little bit. I've been going to work a lot, dealing with the... I work construction, so every now and then politics comes up. So, it's been curious to hear the political impeachment inquiries on a bunch of, conservative talking heads or whatever, and it's just blah, 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 blah. Shouts out to all the fancy speeches for all the fancy people. I just hope you motherfuckers educate yourselves and, do a little bit different for your communities, dog. But aside from that, it's been mad hectic, like I said earlier. Holiday rush is upon us, it feels like. These Black Friday retail specials and all of this fucking XYZ, people clamoring to a fucking grocery store trying to celebrate a feast they never really understand. It's a thing. Shout out to the Addams Family, though, you feel me? I feel like Wednesday and her little boyfriend in that movie really did a good one on just that whole entire take on it. If anything, enjoy time with your loved ones, dog. Not to sound pessimistic, but life is short. You feel me? But this week I've been good, dog. I want to talk a little bit about, or the discussion about, and mind you, like I've been having cultural discussions with the homies, the younger generation, the ones that are in the early 20s, married, the whole 9. Like it's just great getting different perspective from different people on the way the movement's going, you feel me? In a matter of speaking, everyone just thinks that the movement is just something in which, you go out there and march or protest, whatever. But nah, dog, it's how your people are living and getting it. New people entering a new construction field. You new graduates out there this year and upcoming next year, like all of y'all making that mad bread or getting mad in that just so y'all can, supply and give back a little something. And mind you, that's the thing that I feel like this season kind of takes advantage of giving back, We shouldn't need a fucking season or a holiday for some bullshit that has nothing to do with giving back when those fools the pilgrims all they did was take, you feel me? But giving back in the sense of abundance of, knowledge, roots, culture, whatever, If you're anti-Thanksgiving, then be pro-Indigenous Day still, and keep educating people on the subject matters, you feel me? If you're out there protesting, whatever you're protesting this week or next week, go out there and live it to your fullest, homie, because it matters, And in those movements, I guess you can find the topic that I'm trying to get to, and sorry it's taking me so long to bring it down over here. But when it comes to the cause movers and shakers, in November we celebrate a good 500 years since people landed in in Mesoamerican shores, and the idea that these fools walked the jungle in 2 weeks and met, a new culture that lived differently and that, live still, You don't need to give thanks to that, but give thanks to the idea that that culture still exists. That cultura still, is out there. Again, within these movements, within with the discovering of Mesoamerica and those beginning early clashes, there was a pivotal figure within that, and in that figure is La Malinche. Different people describe her differently. I call her La Malinche just because that's how I know her as, same way I call guerrerillas, soldaderas, Adelitas, ignorant mansplaining, but I guess, dog, it's whatever. You're going to get offended, homie. It don't even matter. Brah, shots for all of y'all. But La Malinche is a figure that exists in controversy because she was sold a slave. She translated because she was a slave, and she was raped because slaves have, whatever, even though it's again, multi-leveled conversation that you can't even begin to discuss alone, let alone probably with two individuals, you feel me? So here we are trying to make it work. We'll make it do what it do, homie. But La Malinche is, if you look at mythology, she's Judas, dog. If you look at mythos, she betrayed the circle or whatever, the tribe or whatever you want to call it. But culturally speaking, she didn't do shit. But she did raise the first mix, one of the first mixed seeds. I'm not gonna call them the first because contact in the early years were all myths and legends, But in the beginning, she is, historically speaking, the first trader to the people, but also the first mother to the new seed, which is what I feel modern day mixed indigenous folks are, which are mestizos. She ends up translating the betrayal. She ends up using translation techniques to muddy the waters. The number one thing that I find hilarious that they say decimated the indigenous native population was that it was, diseases. And here we are 500 years later, measles are making a comeback, like just shit like that. And I just find it interesting. It's not like, okay, if all of these things happen by measles, how many guns did you bring? How much violence? Like, there is so many things that went down at the point of guns. Like, there's a lot. And people forget that Tenochtitlan was only a city, dog. Don't get me wrong, it has a shitload of people, but it's the exact same way. It's only like city, like Los Angeles is a city, like Austin is a city. It's huge, it's expansive, and yeah, if all the people die within the city, it's gonna be jarring. But y'all swear that's the only place people lived in or congregated in. I've been to Mexico City. I'm from Mexico. I'm raised out there. I see the hustle and bustle and how compact it feels, but it's a lie because it's expansive, it's massive, it's huge, and I can see the how easy it is to, when you're writing history, to save yourself. How you would write, and they all got sick. Oh yeah, I believe it, dog. They all got sick, huh? Forgot all that gunpowder. Okay, all right. But going back to La Malinche, dog, she betrayed her. They say she betrayed her people. La Malinche is basically a translation to a traitor. That's what it literally, I think, now means, traitor or some shit like that. And in her betrayal, it gave birth to the new seeds that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, are just going to be the remnants of all of us. You know, if we should all be so lucky that we find, or our family or our future generations find, individual outside of their culture so they can share it with others. And that we can also find other cultures and they can share with us their customs too. You know, love who you love, race don't really matter, but in that's an ideal world where you can share customs and neither one of your cultures feels offended yet honored to be a part of a new tradition and or family. We should all be so lucky to be able to experience have different friendships from different walks of life, you feel me? I'm a very humble motherfucker. I get to know some privileged fools that have gone to Harvard and shit. You know, they done the Ivy League shit, you feel me? And I'm just a fool from East LA, dog. Like, I'm just out here thugging, you feel me? And the fact that they were able to make it out and achieve something greater for themselves, or to be able to adapt to a system and be offered opportunities to better themselves, dog, that's always going to be beautiful to me. But there's always going to be that individual that views it as selling out, and they're going to want to slur you or drag your name to the ground, dog. And, you know, for that Malinche, she bears the brucks of it, you know. But I do want to take this time out, you know, to give her a shout out too, dog, because in a manner of speaking, she is the first mother of the mestizos. She's the first mother of the mixed breeds. She is the first. She is one of the originators. You know, historically speaking, she bears that title. So shouts out to her, you know. The fact that her sons grew up in the shadow, and I think she was forced to raise the actual, like, it's a mad history, dog. Like, look up La Malinche and find out that homegirl sad life, dog. I hope she died at peace, dog. I know it was a bird and a bear, and I know that someone had to do it, dog. At some point or another, if it's not that individual, it's gonna be the next one, and it's a bittersweet thought, dog, that at least you know that someone else is gonna carry the burden shit. You feel me? That you do what you can while you're here, you feel me? That you do what you can for your people, your culture, your whole nine, you know? It's one of those things, dog, that honestly, like, I find it inspiring that in a world where it's rapidly changing, dog, especially for those times, you know, 500 years ago, that Joe, you know, America's only 3 people old. That's 5 people ago, dog. That's 5 people ago. And in those 5 people ago, we were able to make it this far. One of the things that's not really talked about within our community, and that's one of the biggest things that gets misconstrued both every single day up and day down, is La Guadalupana. La Guadalupana gets mistaken for the Virgin Mary a lot. Just the exact same way La Malinche gets branded a traitor and a blood traitor. You know, one of those disgusting words of just insulting someone's existence or what have you, just so that you can insult their existence. But the thing that's not discussed about La Guadalupana and the Malinche is how they both kind of need each other to coexist, in a manner of speaking. La Malinche has, you know, the children of Cortez, and the children of Cortez are grown, dejected, disposed, and, you know, not treated with human value or life. So you have La Malinche's peers, women, you know, being brought up in similar situations, killing themselves, murdering children, just killing themselves and their children, just so that they don't have to grow up in a world in which they don't mean anything, in which, you know, that they're enslaved, that they have no value. Like, the exact same way La Malinche had to live through that without no hope and salvation. That's where the idea of La Guadalupana comes in, to save the indigenous culture, to save the indigenous people. And we'll never know the actual shit that was said to that bishop that Juan Diego ran to. We'll never know the discussion that Juan Diego will know, that image that he spoke and had discussed. We will never know, except for that story they tell us. But just know that that act in and of itself is greater than the Virgin Mary. It's greater than Catholicism. It's bigger than their beliefs. You know, it's the exact same way when the Malinche gave birth to those first original mixed blood kids. It went to show that we are humanly equal. You know, it meant to change the world in a manner of speaking, that the exact same length it took a white woman, it took an indigenous woman to carry life. Like, these are the things that connect us. These are the things that unite us in our species as beings. And anyone that wants to reject it or denounce that are fucking clowns. But La Malinche gets branded as all of these things. And through the Malinche's actions, through the consequences of their life, the Guadalupana comes to be. And the Guadalupana comes to save our people, our culture, our raíz, our root, our bloodline, our lineage, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just like there's some people that can trace their lineage in the U.S. back to a boat on Ellis Island, we used to be able to do that with our bloodlines. But we got robbed of that. And it's cool. It's whatever. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. We're here now. So what do we do to fix it? What do we do to mend it? What do we do to upheave it? You know, and people want to spit down on what they are, and people want, like, I seen a few posts that I've talked to a few people that view mestizo as a non-thing, as we don't have a code, like as a negative. Like, you know, you either embrace your Spanish side or you embrace your indigenous side. It's one or the other, and it's not like that's not how life works. That's not how life works at all. Human beings are not water and oil. You cannot divide them. And sometimes I feel like people are willfully forget that. You know, I look at La Malinche, and when I was younger and more arrogant in my ego, and motherfuckers felt like I changed. But I used to look down on her too, and, you know, I would want to curse her name, but a homie don't really get down like that, dog. We out here trying to make it, so superstitious and talking to ghosts never really was a thing to me until as of late. Shout out to all you brujas and brujos out there, dog. I believe in you. But, oh, and yeah, you know, shout out to you Zodiac believers out there for the one time. I think Scorpio season is over and the Sagittarius season, water to fire signs. I don't fucking know. Those are European shit too. But I do want to take that opportunity to say, look into your indigenous roots, and you're going to find your own star charts, if you would, to kind of give you a more roundabout perspective of who you are within your roots. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Brujeria is a topic I want to discuss too. But back to what I was saying, though. I used to be angry in my ignorance, and, you know, as I got older, I've come to realize the appreciation that I lacked, you know. So in when I was younger, I used to curse her, whatever, blah, blah. But it's all like, at some point you gotta realize it had to happen. If it wasn't gonna be her, it was gonna be somebody else. It could have been for better or for worse. We don't know. We just, like you, like I, like anyone else in living in any point in history and time, all you can do is live with the hand you've been dealt. For good or ill, bad or worse, you can only hope for the best outcome possible. And for that alone, she should be respected. For that alone, she should be viewed as no disrespect or offense, but, you know, as respected as Mary of Magdalene was, for fucking Christ, if you want to get on a biblical terms, you feel me? Respected in that sense, because once again, our culture, our community, who we are as a people, it stems from women and motherhood. If you are indigenous and come from Mesoamerican or indigenous beliefs, you understand that the divine femininity that is the Guadalupana in spirit is Tonatzin, you know, the Earth Mother. And when indigenous women saw the visage, the image of La Guadalupana, it was, in a manner of speaking, a reflection of themselves. How many Latinas, Mesoamerican, Chicanas, Latinxes, whatever, females, that you see that you look at them and they cannot do the pose, dog. If they really wanted to, give them a whippil. give them a rebozo, give them something, and watch them just make that image come to your life. That image, it may be a blank image, it may be a general image, but fucking A, if it does not represent Latina women to a T, you can see yourself in her. You can see it's a reflection of self. And that's another thing too that I find interesting, because in a different time and place, if we were more ignorant people without the internet and encyclopedias and all that other bullshit, we could have really made a whole other religion at this point, just based on the fact of two different cultures colliding and creating a new one. And that's really what we are, is the creation of a new one. You know, what's hood to me, it's right now it's a Mesoamerican podcast, just because my community that is the hood lacks this. I want to remind those fools that we come from royalty, that we come from the earth, that we're from the turf. Literally. Us, we're the tree trunk of this side of the planet. You know, we're the new seed, whether by rape or blood or plunder, selling, salvagery, slavery, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We're the outcome of it. And I keep trying to remind others that it's about finding our value in our culture, in how we come together, and how we nos apoyamos, the way we support each other, the way we uplift each other, the way we bring each other up. What is it that we value, deem, hold, like what is it that you want to see us become? Because honestly, to me, dog, all I want us is to fly under one banner. You feel me? Like if I had one wish, I'd rob all of you. Nah, I'm just kidding. But you know, if Vicente Guerrero, Simón Bolívar, and I forget the other one, there's somebody else too, Zapata, Villa, these individuals that started these cultural revolutions on this side of the planet, you know. Tupac Shakur, Tupac Shakur is foreign, but Tupac Amaru, like these individuals that La Malinche, these individuals, you know, Vicente Guerrero was an Afro Latino. He was African descended, like indigenous, mixed, like in these things, within us, our tribe, there have been many leaders to try to unite us as a banner, as a whole, as a people. And it's just funny watching their voices wash away, or people try to take the wrong ideas, and mind you, it's all up for interpretation. Once a motherfucker is gone, once you hear these words, they're for you to make as you feel me? So when I'm out here preaching to my culture, or bitching about my shit, or, you know, reviewing our music, talking about our movies, or other shit like that, or a Latino Mexican's perspective on your media, quote unquote American media, like, I'm gonna have a take on it, whether you like it or not, dog. That's what this podcast is about, so that my community knows that we're out here, you know, mixing it up, chopping it up, dog, making some real life tacos out of situations. You feel me? Oh shit, dog. But let me close off on this conversation, a topic on this, dog. As a figure, La Malinche is controversial as fuck. It's always gonna be. It's always gonna be, but I hope you understand that La Malinche, like La Guadalupana, are critical to our growth as a new seed. These are waters and nutrients that we require for us to grow and stem from. La Guadalupana is here to remind you that you're from this side of the planet. You know, she rests on the belly of the moon, because in our culture, Mexico is belly of the moon. You know, to Mesoamerica, she's blessing Mesoamerica from that point down. You feel me? So to me, that's how I translate that. Anyone else can translate it however. You can pick up whatever you want from whatever series you want, but La Malinche someone had to be the first. And whether she did it right or wrong, guess what? Every other descendant that comes from that tree or that trunk or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's up to you to amend the mistakes of whatever comes out before you after you feel me? If you thought she did something wrong, it's up to you to elevate and do something right. You feel me? Community just involves really one word at the end of the day, and it's just that last 5 letters of that sentence, unity. You know what I'm saying, folks? But look, dog, y'all stay blessed, stay up. Once again, thank you for listening to What's Hood. The Compa for Cabron out here with you, ready to roll one always, dog. Thank you for listening to Binge on this, dog. This, that, and the other with Bryan and Sam. Universal Dreams. Sam of all trades. Happy News with Perry Kurtz. Olden Time TVs. And of course, the Compa. What's Hood. Hope you have a great week, dog, and I hope you all stay blessed. Peace.